What's up guys, the Strong Boys 19 here. It is time to do the 2014 review of an album that is very special, and I'm just honoured to do a review of this album of the Ronnie James Dio tribute slash cover album entitled This Is Your Life. And yes, this is the physical copy of the album. So this is an album that just simply remembers one of the most iconic yet important musicians in metal, Ronnie James Dio. And as I said from my previous update, that Ronnie James Dio is my favourite metal vocalist of all time, and I really worship the guy so much. And when people buy this album, it will just simply remember the life of the legend himself. And this artwork is absolutely fantastic, and it just shows the artwork of these different musicians that that really worked hard for making such a special album to remember and still worship the life of Dio. So the record label for this album is Rhino Records, and if you have not bought this album yet, go out and buy this album. Let's just talk about the tracks, and I'm not going to skip any of them. The first track to come off the album is Anthrax's cover of Neon Nights. It really just starts the album off with a bang. One of my favourite Black Sabbath songs of all time, and this Neon Nights cover really stands out, and Joey Belladonna's vocals is absolutely fantastic, and it really just starts the album off very, very well from its very memorable chorus and face-punching aggression, guitar riffs, and just everything about this cover that's absolutely outstanding. The next track is The Last in Line, covered by Tenacious D. And we all know that Tenacious D is just a normal two-piece comedy rock duo, but they have been fans of Ronnie James Dio themselves. And there's even a flute solo on this cover as well. And this cover is really unique stuff, and I really did like the sound of Jack Black's voice. That really defines the very unique instrumentation and the way that the song really goes. So I think it's just another very good cover. Mob Rules, covered by Adrenaline Mob, and this cover is another one of those aggressive yet catchy instrumentations that stands out, and it's another very, very good cover. It's just more faster. It's definitely one of these covers that really goes with the flow, and the vocals stand out as well, and it's just another perfect solid cover. The next one is Rainbow in the Dark, and this features Corey Taylor on vocals, and we all know him from vocalist from being in Slipknot, and also Stone Sour. So, also features Roy Mayorga from Stone Sour, Christian Martucci, Jason Christopher and Satchel, and Jason Christopher. And this cover is very, very good as well. Corey Taylor's vocals, very, very impressive, and he had been one of my favourite vocalists in general. So, the cover itself is definitely very, very good, catchy stuff. The next one is Straight Through the Heart, covered by Hailstorm. It's just very groovy, and the chorus is just very memorable, and Lizzie Hale's vocals are very, very good stuff, and I think she's just a unique vocalist in general. So this Straight Through the Heart cover is definitely worth your time to listen to as well. Starstruck by Motorhead and Biff Byford, and Motorhead is just the right band for this cover because Starstruck is definitely one of my favourite songs from Rainbow's classic album Rising, and the way the Motorhead really goes for this cover to get a lot of action going, and it goes flawlessly well, and Biff's vocals never disappointed me at all, and neither does Motorhead's great instrumentation. The Temple of the King from Scorpions, and this is where the album really goes more into the more softer, calm, and more of the cleaner melodic sounds of the music, involving some later tracks on this album. Scorpions did very, very well with this cover, and its instrumentation, it's just very dramatic, and it delivers absolutely smoothly, and the vocals are much more of the calmer, more cleaner tone to it. Doro with the cover of Egypt, in brackets the chains are on. Doro, her vocals, my goodness, the vocals are just absolutely beautiful, and the music itself is, just like Scorpion's cover of the Temple of the King. The cover itself is again much smooth and cleaner sounding, and Doro's vocals really stand out, and it's just absolutely beautiful stuff. Killswitch Engage's cover of Holy Diver is the next one, and I've heard this cover for a couple of years ago, and this is where the aggression of the music continues, and this cover also stands out, and I still think that Howard Jones is Killswitch Engage's best vocalist. Not to mention that Jesse Leach is another very good, strong vocalist, but I prefer Howard Jones over Jesse, in my opinion. So, Howard's vocals, he gets to the point where he brings back more of the screams and the aggressive vocals, and they worked really well, and the instrumentation is catchy, and it is heavy as well, and it's definitely one of my favourite songs of all time in metal. From the first Dio album, Holy Diver, Catch the Rainbow, with Glenn Hughes on vocals and other different people. Just go look it up on the internet. Glenn Hughes' vocals, oh my gosh. I've never heard some of the most beautiful and just simply very touching sounds of clean vocals I've heard. Spot on. And Catch the Rainbow is more of the soft melodic sound of music, and it's more like a slower paced type of track, and the instrumentation itself absolutely stands out from its very good clean guitar sound, and just the chorus and Glenn's strong vocals. It's definitely one of the best pieces of music you will ever hear on this album. Covered by Oni Logan and Jimmy Bain, and is definitely another one of my favourite Black Sabbath tracks with Dio, and it's another very good groovy aggressive track, and Oni's vocals is simply unique stuff. The next track, Man of the Silver Mountain, which also features Jeff Pilson, Scott Warren, and other people, involving the legend himself, Rob Halford from Judas Priest. And Rob had been one of my favourite metal vocalists of all time as well. This cover is another very, very good one, and Rob never pretty much disappointed me a lot from his vocals. He goes much more into the different sound and tone from the way that he sings, and just the way he changes his vocals, like he did from the eras from the Judas Priest days. The next track is the Ronnie Rising medley from Metallica, which includes A Light in the Black, Tarot Woman, Stargazer, and Kill the King. This cover really goes well from these couple of tracks that goes together and just make it into one big piece of medley, and it's just 9 minutes long. And Stargazer is definitely one of my favourite songs from Rainbow's album Rising, involving Tarot Woman as well. And Metallica with this medley keeps this whole medley upbeat, up and running, and the groovy guitar playing and the impressive drumming from Lars and just everything else. And Metallica being one of my favourite bands, with this medley, I think it's just definitely another very, very solid one. And the last track to come off of this album, This Is Your Life by Dio, with the beautiful piano sound and the vocals from Ronnie James Dio himself, and it really is the perfect way to end off the album from there. It will truly show the amount of respect and really remember and not forget one of the most legendary vocalists in the world. So that's really all I've got to say about this tribute album of Ronnie James Dio, This Is Your Life. So thank you guys for watching. I know this review is a long one, but this is definitely one of the best releases of 2014 alone, by any means. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and keep it metal.